There's a place in the lower mainland where silence doesn't feel empty, it feels intentional. Riverview Hospital sits behind trees and fog just outside Vancouver. Most people call it abandoned, but abandoned places feel forgotten. This place feels like something is still listening. Tonight's story isn't a legend, it isn't a rumor. It's made up of first-hand encounters from people who worked inside those buildings. People who all described the same thing, even when they didn't know each other. Riverview Hospital opened in 1913 as a psychiatric institution. At its peak, it held thousands of patients. Many were committed for reasons that don't make sense anymore. Grief, depression, being unwanted. Patients were restrained, isolated, left alone for years. Some never left. When Riverview began shutting down, entire buildings were sealed off. Beds still made, wheelchairs still in hallways, personal belongings still in drawers, rooms frozen in time, as if leaving quickly felt safer than staying. Security guards were required to patrol the abandoned wings at night. One guard described the hallways as changing when he stepped inside. Not colder, heavier, like pressure against his chest. At the far end of the corridor, he saw a tall, dark shape, not transparent, not moving, just standing there, watching. When the guard took a step forward, the lights behind shut off, one by one, slowly, as if something were following his movement in reverse. When he looked back down the hallway, the shape was closer. Other guards reported the same thing. They stopped patrolling alone. There was one wing everyone avoided, an abandoned patient ward staff called the Screaming Ward. Between 2 and 3 in the morning, alarms would activate inside the empty wing. When guards arrived, the lights were on, doors were open, and the air felt wrong, heavy, thick. Then the screaming started. Not one voice, many, crying, yelling, banging on doors, footsteps running in every direction. Guards said it sounded like the entire ward were living something all at once. And then, silence. Instant. Nothing there. This happened so often, some guards refused to respond. Another wing produced a different kind of fear. The former children's ward. Night workers reported some laughter, humming, running footsteps. One guard heard a child whisper directly behind him, "Don't go." When records were checked later, something didn't make sense. There were no children officially listed in the wing during its final years. No names, no files, just empty rooms, and sounds that didn't belong. The basement levels were sealed long before the hospital closed, used for storage, and according to rumors, isolation. Guards reported hearing pounding from beneath the concrete floor. Not knocking, pounding. One guard said the sound followed him room to room, as if something underneath was tracking where he walked. When he radioed for backup, his radio replied with his own voice, saying his name. He dropped the radio and ran. He never came back. When film crews began using Riverview, they didn't believe the stories until doors started closing on their own. Lights turned on in rooms with no power. Footsteps echoed above empty sets. One production assistant was locked inside a room for nearly 10 minutes. When the door finally opened, every light in the hallway shut off at once. Another crew recorded audio overnight. When they listened back, they said they heard voices whispering, "Stay, help me," and one phrase that made the room go silent, "You're not supposed to be here." The audio was deleted. No one explained why. Everyone who enters Riverview describes the same feeling, not fear, evaluation, like something is deciding whether you belong. People report nausea, sudden panic, the urge to leave immediately, as if the building notices you and responds. Paranormal investigators believe Riverview didn't just create ghosts, it created something else. Thousands of traumatized minds, years of fear, loss of identity, and something that learned the routines. The sounds of keys, the timing of footsteps, something that learned patience, something that still recognizes when someone is inside. Riverview Hospital stands mostly silent now, but people living nearby say lights still appear in windows with no electricity. Security cameras still catch movement where no one should be. If you ever walk those grounds at night and you feel pressure in your chest, don't stop, don't look, and whatever you do, don't wait to see what's watching you, because some places don't forget, and some things didn't need a body to survive.